This player hits shots like that all game, clean flicks and confident operator kills. Proper mechanical talent, but he's still losing rounds he should be winning. Because this is also him. TP is ready and he's just standing there. At an angle no one will go into anytime soon, while his team fights and dies. So yeah, today I'm reviewing a chamber VOD from one of my students, and it's a perfect example of something I see constantly. A player whose aim is ready for the next rank, but whose decisions are holding it hostage. If you play Chamber, this video is for you. Watching the full VOD, one pattern keeps repeating. He's alive a lot and doing very little with it. Rounds where his TP is up and he's just waiting. Chamber is at his best when he's creating pressure. Take an aggressive angle, take one shot, then TP out and go again. This player is doing almost the opposite. So there are 3 problems to break down. Passive play, utility that isn't earning its keep, and fights that are lost before they even start. Let's start with the big one. Here's the theme in one clip. He's got the outlaw and he's got TP. And there's an elevated angle right there that would let him take a free shot in CT and leave. Instead he waits, and the window of opportunity closes and the round basically happens without him. Same story here, waiting for enemies to peek him instead of placing TP and taking the initiative himself. His whole team is fighting and dying. He has TP available the entire time, and he continues doing nothing. He survives, sure, but survival on its own isn't a strat. And there's more. In this clip, he's manually holding an angle his trip should already be watching. Here he spends far too long in tree, while a teammate takes a fight he should be trading. And this clip is my favorite example of the whole VOD. He has the chance to take one aggressive shot and TP out. Instead, he waits, gets collapsed on and dies for nothing. Then, in this clip, there's the flip side. A coin flip fight he didn't need to take, when staying alive and applying pressure was worth more. Passive isn't the opposite of reckless, both are bad timing. The skill is knowing when your life is worth spending and when it's worth keeping. Let's break this problem down, because this mindset shift matters more than any individual clip. A lot of players treat staying alive as the goal, especially on Chamber. It isn't. Staying alive is a resource. The goal is impact. And if you're alive somewhere where the enemy never have to think about you, then you're basically dead as far as the round is concerned. You've just delayed the scoreboard updating. Chamber's kit is built for one specific loop, and I want you to burn it into your brain. Take an angle, shoot, TP, reposition, repeat. That loop is the entire reason you pick this agent. Every round where your TP is up and your team is fighting, ask yourself one question. Can I take one shot and TP away? If the answer is yes, that's usually the play. Problem 2. Chamber has 2 of the most efficient pieces of utility in the game, and in this VOD, they're mostly decorative. Rounds start with no trip placed at all. That's a free flank alarm left in his pocket. And when trips do go down, placement is the issue. On the C attack, the trip technically exists, but provides 0 value, because he ends up holding the exact same angle with his body anyway. A trip that watches an angle you're also watching isn't information, it's a decoration. And it gets worse. In this clip, the trip placement indirectly gets your teammates killed. Utility isn't automatically good just because you used it. Badly placed utility is sometimes worse than none, because your team makes decisions assuming it's doing a job it isn't. And then the TP. 4 clips and 4 different ways to waste the best escape tool in Valorant. Walking out of TP range mid-play, so it may as well not exist. TPing without even attempting a shot first, which spends the whole cooldown to accomplish nothing. TP placement that limits his escape once he's been drone scanned. And my personal favorite, placing the TP where he's already standing. That's not an escape route, that's a very expensive way to just stand still. Here's how to fix this problem. Have a pre-round checklist. This will fix 90% of this problem. Just 3 questions every round before the barrier drops. 1. Is my trip watching an angle I don't want to watch myself? If your trip and your crosshair cover the same space, one of them is wasted. 2. Does my TP let me take a fight I normally couldn't? The TP isn't a panic button, it's basically a license for aggression. Its whole purpose is letting you take shots that would be suicide for basically any other agent. 3. If someone swings me right now, can I escape? If the answer is no, and your TP is up, then your setup is wrong. So if any of those come back wrong, change your setup before the round starts. And the third problem, this one stings if you're a mechanics focused player. Most of his lost duels weren't lost on aim, they were lost before the fight even started. Watch this peek. Crosshair at chest height, wide swing into an angle the enemy is pre-aiming. No plan for the re-peek. His flick has to do all the work, and against a set enemy, no flick is that good. Same class of mistake over and over. A smoke peek that hands the enemy the advantage. A good opening kill here, immediately undone by re-peeking with no information. And fights taken completely isolated when a teammate was close enough to trade. Kills you can't be traded on are how you bleed rounds. And here's how to fix this. Stop thinking of duels as 50-50s you win with aim. Think of every duel as a set of scales. Your job before the fight is stacking your side. An unfair fight in your favor looks like this. You're holding an off angle the enemy hasn't cleared. You know exactly where they are, and they have no idea where you are. Your crosshair is already sitting where their head is about to be. You're positioned where a teammate trades you the second you fall, and they've got nobody to trade back. Maybe you've even got angle advantage, or a TP that makes punishing you impossible. Here's the part nobody tells you. Aim only decides fights where the scales are level. So your job is simple. The scales are never level when you take the fight. And one subtopic before we move on, because it deserves its own part. Operator discipline. 3 habits to kill. Holding angles too tight, which gives you no reaction time. Jiggling while holding, which means the moment the enemy appears, you're mid-strafe and the shot goes wide, and holding fundamentally weak angles where even a perfect shot barely helps. You can also even take aggressive peeks when your TP is available. But in general, playing with an op is boring on purpose. The op rewards patience, not fidgeting. So to sum it up, the goal isn't just to survive rounds, it's to have an impact on them. If you've got solid mechanics, stop waiting for the game to happen. Also, if you'd like your own VOD reviewed, you'll find all the details in the description. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and like the video. See ya in the next one.